Article. Hello everybody, welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and in today's clip we're actually gonna do my top 5 when it comes to primers. I've already done the foundation and concealer episodes, but let's pretend I wasn't planning to take them in order of application, when in reality that's what I was planning to do, but I totally forgot about primers. Let's discuss about them. So my first recommendation is from e.l.f. This is Vogue Glow Suntouchable SPF skincare kind of product, but this has a beautiful glow from within, and I did cheekily put this one into the foundation range as well, because I do use it sometimes as foundation, but sometimes I use it as primer. This is, in my opinion, very similar to their Halo Glow product, and I wouldn't recommend you having both of them in your collection, but rather either one of them. So I would say this is more to an advantage because it has SPF, but when it comes to a makeup application, the Halo Glow has obviously a massive doe foot applicator. So it's up to you whether you do mind having like a squeezy tube or you prefer an actual applicator, but obviously the price would be you wouldn't have SPF in that one. So in terms of the formula, when it comes to this product, I really love that it feels like a moisturizer rather than like something makeup-y, and it's meant to be a dupe for the Super Goop SPF. And I've tried that SPF. Everybody raved about it, and I was like, let me see what's the hype with it. And I personally didn't like it. I don't know, maybe I got like a defective one, but it felt so thick. It was crumbling on my face. Foundation on top of it was a massive no. And this is not doing that. I would personally say, spend the money on this guy. I think in this video we have a lot of dupes. This one is from Primark and is their PS Prep and Perfect Primer, which I believe is meant to be a dupe for the Bobbi Brown something cream that is literally looking like this. And I never tried the original, but let me tell you, this is incredible. It's my second choice of priming when it comes to my day-to-day makeup. I always go for the glowy primer. However, when I just want like a moisturizing and flawless base, poreless, but like hydrated too, this is my number one option. It's only £4.50 and the jar is massive as well, and it feels really luxurious. The bottle is really heavy. The jar is actually really heavy. I also love how it smells, and this is the consistency you will see with it. It's very mousse-like, I would call it. Like, it has like a density that I can't quite exactly explain on camera. When you actually feel the texture, it also feels really thick, and you would think, oh my god, this is gonna be too bulky, too like just heavy. But the moment you actually massage it within your skin, it feels so lightweight, but in a way like you have your face set, hydrated, but the pores are filled in. It's something that I never experienced personally with a primer. I'm quite curious how the original one feels, but majority of people who tried both the original and the dupe said it is quite a close dupe. So I'm not quite sure if I want to spend much money on the original one. Maybe I'm gonna at some point do it because I'm always beauty curious. But so far I would rebuy this over and over and over again. I was this close to buy a backup, but I was like, listen, I have way too many primers. I don't need a backup because this is a massive jar. But you can see the dent is there. I've been using this on an often basis. Next is the only bougie brand that I have within my priming collection, and that is YSL Touché Blur Primer. This was kindly gifted in PR. However, I was beyond impressed. This is not that expensive, given that it's a massive bottle. I think it retails for £32, which in theory for like a luxury brand which YSL is, I don't think that's too pricey, because I think their mascara is like £29 and this is 32. Like, and the expiration date is 24 months. That's a while. That's a while, everybody. You're gonna go through it, I promise you. But you can see I use quite a lot from it, given that I have a lot of primers and a lot of makeup. And I love this one when I want a full beat when it comes to like a high coverage foundation. This for how blurring it is quite moisturizing. I would give credit for that. And you see a theme here. I like a moisturizing primer because I have normal to dry skin, and especially in the winter time, it has the tendency to go dry. But yeah, the glitter within the bottle actually shows up on the skin very beautifully, like subtle. Again, it gives a glow from within. Depends on the foundation, of course. If you use like a very full coverage foundation, the glitters are not gonna show up. But if you use like a lightweight foundation such as True Match serum or Maybelline Vitamin C serum, that allows the sparkle to go through a tiny bit, like more of a glow. So don't imagine like you have specks of sparkle on your face. It's more like giving a glow. And with those two options as foundations, let me tell you, they also have glowy particles within the formulation. So you're not gonna be minded if you love those ones. And the packaging is glass, very luxurious. I do think this is not that expensive given the brand, what it does for your skin, and how luxurious it feels. Like, I was really impressed with the price. Because again, it's almost as if it's not worth paying for a mascara. When it comes to the texture of the primer, it is very silicone based. But you can see while I'm applying it, it mattifies my skin, but it still leaves like a subtle glow. And I don't see that often when it comes to silicone-based primers, to leave a nice glow from within. And again, the way that it feels on my skin is much different than what I've tried previously from other brands when it comes to silicone primers. They are not my choice of priming, to be fairly honest with you, because you all know I'm all about hydration, and I'm sure you can figure out by the previous two options that I've shown, and hence why I think normal to dry girlies would love it. Next we have, once again, a dupe sensation. The collection, I was about to say Lasting Perfection. Is it? No, that's the concealer. The concealer was such a staple for many, many years into my beauty upcoming. I always, whenever I say like collection, I'm always like, oh, collection Lasting Perfection. No, collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish. So this one feels more different than the e.l.f. one, and I really like that. In theory, they do give you the same glow, but the textures are different. This feels a bit more velvety, while the one from e.l.f. feels a bit more glowy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but they are different in textures. That's what I'm trying to say. And obviously, because currently I have this one from e.l.f., I don't feel the need to also have Halo Glow. Again, from a makeup perspective, this doe applicator feels a bit more at hand, especially when you're rushing. You just like drag it, dab it in, and then apply your foundation. So from that perspective, obviously take into consideration if you don't necessarily enjoy a squeezy tube for a primer, which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Primers come in many, many bottles and shapes and forms, but it's more handy when you're rushing with this kind of guy. So when it comes to the formula, like I was saying, it feels a bit more velvety. I feel because of that, it really packs a punch of shine compared to the other two ones. And again, it's really lovely to see a difference between the two of them because both of them are really affordable, and maybe you want like extreme glow, which I think this is more achievable with this guy than the e.l.f. Halo Glow, although you still see a glow. Don't get me wrong, but I feel this is more of a shiny glow, while with that one is more natural glow. Because I feel also, you can see in the swatch, it has a bit of a pearly light sheen. And I don't see that with the Halo Glow as well as the SPF. And you can see, I used quite a lot from it. Again, I have a lot of primers, guys, so bear with me. Don't say I didn't use it enough, because I did. It's been like a couple of months since this is in my everyday makeup kit. Which, yeah, I do have a makeup kit for my everyday, because my collection is too massive for me to just, you know, look into what products I'm using today when I literally have 30 minutes to catch a train. Next primer is again a glowy primer. I'm sorry, but we only have 2 mattifying primers in this top 5. And bear in mind, it's because of my skin type. So this one is HMB Cosmetics Luminous Soft Glow Tint. The actual packaging when it comes to this product is stunning as well. And this comes with a pump. And you can see from the swatch, it is much high coverage and it definitely feels a bit more like a tint foundation hybrid rather than a primer, but it's also advertised to be really, really good as a primer, and I do like it as a primer. I actually think I got a bit of a lighter shade. I should have gone with the next shade in order for me to use it properly as the foundation, Tint. But unfortunately I went with like the lightest of them all, and I think it's a bit too light for me to just wear it on its own. But it has again a pearl finish within the sheen, and I think it's a bit extreme compared to the e.l.f. one, which is not something that I get upset over, but rather I really like it when it comes to a more like medium to high full coverage foundation. But again, I'm really impressed with H&B Cosmetics. The formula feels amazing. It feels quite thick but creamy, and it settles really nicely within your skin. And people should rave even more about H&B Cosmetics because they don't have that many followers, you know. I was a bit shocked. They are in Boots and on TikTok Shop, which TikTok Shop was the one at guilt for making me purchase something from the brand, but I don't regret it. And even though I still have a long way with this one to test out, for the many times that I've used it, it stays in the top 5. And once again, I'm surprised I only have one high-end primer. But that is it from me.